Let's take a look at my new marled sweater pattern called the Mossy Marled Raglan. This new Mossy Marled Raglan sweater is really easy and really good for beginner sweater knitters. So if you've never knitted a sweater before, or if you've never done marled knitting, where you're holding two strands together, then this is the pattern for you. I kept it really simple with the top-down construction, so you can cast on with the neck, try on the sweater as you go, and you're knitting a moss stitch, which is a knit one, purl one texture. And I created all of these really fun swatches to show how different the sweater could look depending on your color combination. So when you're holding two yarns together, they're going to be fingering weight yarns for this pattern. I used the Westwool Bicycle in the Wellington colorway for the dark green and the Sage for the light green. And I'm always amazed how colors transform and look differently depending on when they're alone versus when they're marled and held together. So it's a really dark and a really light green, but when they're mixed together, they create this new little green harmonious color combo. And I just love that mix of the marling with the moss stitch texture. It's really bumpy. It creates this really cool staggered color exchange, but you just need two ingredients. So get two colors of the same color family for a version like mine. And I made lots of little color examples to show you what it will look like with different Westwool colors. So we have Wellington and Sage for my sample. If you want it really dark, then you could get a saturated color and then a super dark version of that color, like the Royal. This is our Royal Blue color, and it's a really deep, almost black blue, the Mariniere. So Royal and Mariniere. And when you hold them together, they make this really smoky, murky blue tone to it. But you're going to get that really deep type of color. Another deep tone, I did the chestnut with the cardamom. So for you orange and warm orange and brown lovers, that cardamom is a nice medium tone, and the chestnut is a bit darker, but has that warm glow to it. So I really love the mix of those two shades because they're in the same family, but just different contrast levels of that color. So with the Bicycle held double, it's a fingering weight non-superwash wool. So it's going to have a really nice structure and squish factor to the fabric. But when you hold two fingering weight yarns together, you're going to get about a DK to worsted weight gauge. So it's quite quick to knit. It definitely doesn't take as much time as a fingering weight sweater. So when you hold two fingering weights together, it'll be like on a US 7, 4.5 millimeter needle is a nice size to work with. And you'll get that quick DK worsted weight gauge. So some of the other combos I put together, all of these are in the same color family, but like a light and a dark version of those colors. So you overall get that vibe of your favorite color, but it's a bit more nuanced with the shadowing and shading. This is our Dijon and Tiger. And look how those look differently. It's really mustardy and glowy on its own, but when it's mixed with that caramel tiger color, I just love the shadowy dimension that it gives. So that's a really fun combo. All of these color combos we put together for you as kits at Stephen and Penelope. So if you see one of these color combos you like, you can just select your size and pick your colors, and then we'll send you how much yarn you need for your chosen size. There's 9 sizes in the pattern. So when you pick your color, this is the Taffy and Flamingo for a really sweet kind of bubblegum sweater. When you pick your colors, you just select your size, and then we send you the number of skeins you need to knit your top-down sweater. Let's see, what do we have left here? We have some beautiful blues. If you like your sweater to be a bit brighter, more into that aqua tonality, we have Brackish and Aquamarine. These are two of our brighter blues in Westwool, and I love the light and brightness that you get with those two held together. It's so much fun playing with this marled knitting. It's always unexpected what kind of quality you're going to get with marling, and that's why I made these little swatches for you to help visualize and know what the color effect is going to be before you knit. Another warm, punchy palette. This is the Red Hot colorway in Beatrix. Really fiery. I think this would be a really fun statement sweater and it really shows off the saturated colors from Beatrix, which is like a coral orange, and Red Hot is our primary fiery red. Really, really fun. And I think my favorite swatch, this was a bit more of an unexpected combo because they're both really, really light. It's our Sea Mist color. It's a really soft, subtle blue, but I put it with our Pickle Juice, which is really fun and has a bit of fluorescence to that lime green. And I love the light combination. It has this glowy effect. I like the mix of the subtle with the little sassy tone of that Pickle Juice color. So I think I want another sweater with this, or maybe I'll design something new. I don't know, I really love this combo. So that's what it looks like with that light blue and the yellow held together. Whenever you have colors in the same kind of contrast, they're gonna blend a bit more and kind of become unified in their contrast versus when you have a high contrast color choice. So if you're diving your stash or looking at our kits, if you see a color that has a really dark and a really light color, it's gonna look a bit more staticky in the fabric. Kind of like my sweater too. It's a really light and a really dark together, so it has this high contrast friction to the colors, and so that's the quality you're gonna get in the fabric with a dark and a light. This is our gray Canal House and our purple Unicorn colorway. Really fun, but a different effect than the kind of colors that are more similar together. This is Bianca and Buttercup, and it's much more blendy when you have two colors that are a bit more similar versus the dark and light contrast. So those are a few of the swatches. You can check all these out at Stephen and Penelope. We put all these kits up for you. And the Mossy Marled Raglan, Mossy Marled Raglan is a single pattern on Ravelry and Westknits.com. So you can download that. You'll be knitting top down with some twisted ribbing for the folded collar, and the same twisted ribbing, a single layer of it, for these long cuffs. And on the bottom of the sweater, you also have that nice twisted ribbing. So really relaxing, crispy stitches, and you get to really enjoy the texture and a beautiful raglan construction. So check out that pattern and the kits at Stephen and Penelope. And I hope that if this is your first sweater, you do a little swatch first to test your size and also go on a date with your colors. Try a little swatch before selecting your size, and then you'll be good to go and have a successful first sweater experience. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.